Hey, Bob Carr here for another episode of the Bob Carr Show. Returning to the studio today against his own free will is Chris. Chris, glad to see you again, sir.
It's good to see you, Bob. I have to say that this is my favorite way to start my week.
Hey, on a serious note, let's talk about AI and what are you seeing in your industry?
We've already been using AI in a lot of ways over the last several years. It's only been within the last year or so that it really has come to public awareness just because of the products that are being put out by companies.
Gotcha.
But in the IT industry, we've already been leveraging AI for a number of years, especially from a security standpoint.
Okay.
First off, what is AI? AI is computers that can make decisions on their own and do things for you based off what you ask it to do, and it can learn how to do things. So this is good for a lot of reasons. It can automate a lot of things, and it can figure things out for you. Now, people are always aware about the dangers that can take place with AI because, well, how do you direct it? How do you tell it to be a good AI and not a bad AI? And that is a problem that even the smartest people in the world have not been able to figure out. And so right now it's just a tool. It'll do whatever you want it to do. You can wind it up, you can point it in a direction, and it will do the thing that you ask it to do. And it may do other things too, and that's kind of the crux of the issue.
That's why we're seeing that on the news a lot now.
Yeah, it ends up with a mind of its own, and it ends up doing things that people don't necessarily understand. They don't know why it does those things. And that's part of the funny thing. There's AI for all kinds of things. There's AI for security, and the reason we need AI in security is because the bad guys have AI. So
Gotcha.
they're using artificial intelligence to automate attacks on a wide scale. And in order for us to combat that, we have to have an equivalent amount of power to be able to defend ourselves against things like that. And moving away from the scary stuff, there's AI in productivity. So that's part of the thing that people are scared of because they think their jobs are going to go away. And to an extent, jobs may go away in the sense that they exist now, but new jobs are going to emerge around those areas.
Absolutely. So a lot more opportunities are going to actually come about
Absolutely.
Because of AI.
Yes. So, one of the things, so I was just down in Dallas meeting with my folks down there. I'm part of a nationwide group of IT service providers that work together to get things done. And we meet down in Dallas on a regular basis, a few times a year. We talk about things. AI came up in the conversation, obviously, this time around. We started talking about how we're going to use it. And we're still figuring out how we're going to use some of the latest innovations in AI. And, we're looking at a lot of menial tasks that are going to start to get taken care of. But there still needs to be people behind the scenes steering the wheel.
Sure. It's not going to replace everything.
Absolutely
Someone's
not.
still got to be driving it.
Yes. There needs to be, right now the challenge is figuring out how to work with it. Because the fact of the matter is the people that learned how to work with it are going to be the ones that have the competitive edge.
What do you think will be one of the first couple of things that we could use it for or we will see it used for that will help us leverage our days better?
Sure. Customer service is a big spot where AI can fill in. Because a lot of people that are coming to you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but every time someone goes on the website, sends you an email or calls you, they're typically only going to be asking about maybe like five or seven things.
Yep.
Just about, I'd say 80-90% of the calls are going to be one of those things.
That's true.
And you can more than likely program an AI to be able to take care of those things for you.
So that'll be huge.
Yeah, sure. It has to do with integration, figuring out how to partner with folks that have software that can integrate with AI or have AI built into them that can integrate with all these different systems so that when people call or when people send an email or when they do a chat on your website, that they can get an immediate response with accurate information.
Gotcha. Chris, we appreciate you coming by again today and talking with us.
Hey, there's no place that I would rather be.
And this wraps up another episode of the Bob Carr Show. Stay tuned next week for another episode.